true you were circling the area waiting to pounce at the given moment?
I've never heard such baloney in all my life. I wasn't circling around. I was in a house a few miles away, sitting watching not just this result, but other results coming in around the country. And look, you know, we've dug very deep into the Labour vote in parts of the north of England, very deep into the Conservative vote in Lincolnshire, Staffordshire, other places like that. Obviously much more to come tomorrow. This election, of course, was the big one. We won it by 6 votes, but I was going to come anyway, whether we won or lost by 6 votes. A, to support our candidate, and B, to show that in one of Labour's safest seats in Britain, you know, we are now a competitor.
Listen, I was talking to people yesterday who weren't even really sure what they were voting for when they were voting Reform, but they just wanted to vote against Labour and against the Conservative Party. Does that bother you? Because it suggests this might be a short-lived...
If you can tell me what the Conservative Party stand for, I'll give you a tenner. And Keir Starmer seems to be tic-tacking all over the place in terms of... Now, people know when they vote for us, you know, we are a party that comes out of the Brexit movement. They all know that. We're a party that believes in control of borders. They all know that. And we're a party that says young men coming to Britain illegally across the Channel should not be allowed to stay. And it's extraordinary that in Runcorn alone, there are 750 of them.
But you've kind of whipped up that anti-migration sentiment.
It's not migration, it's illegal immigration. Let's get this right.
But that's not necessarily the distinction that people who are voting are making, because some of those who were talking to me yesterday...
No, they're living in the streets here. They're living in streets here. I mean, you know, hotels may be emptying, but houses of multiple occupancy are here to be seen in street after street, and people resent it. And you know what? If your alarm clock goes off at 5 o'clock in the morning, you go off and work for 10, 12 hours on a building site, and the tax you're paying goes up every year, and you think part of my money is going for these people to walk into this country and live for free, you do feel there's a sense of unfairness.
Some of those I was speaking to yesterday, they weren't making that distinction. One, for example, talked about the man who committed the Southport attacks, for example, who was born in this country as having come from abroad, as being a migrant. So,
his father came as an asylum seeker, actually, and was given leave.
But he was born here.
No, he was born here, yeah.
And are you sure that your voters are making that distinction between?
I think our voters know what's right and what's wrong. Absolutely. And it's quite interesting. I mean, the last general election, we had more of the black and ethnic minorities voting for us than the Liberal Democrats did. People know what's right and what's wrong. And coming to Britain illegally across the English Channel, I promise you, it was an issue that damaged the Conservatives. It will finish Labour in the north of England.
Do you think that Sarah Poachin's going to help you with your woman problem? Because not very many women vote Reform UK, do they?
Not true. At the general election, it was 58-42 male-female, OK? Since the general election, all of our growth share, it's been 50-50.
OK, but under 20% of your candidates in these elections are women.
Well, people who stand, we're a very new party, people who stand, people who don't. How dare you say I've got a woman problem?
Well, I mean, I think some people objected to you saying, for example, that women don't sacrifice enough in the workplace, for example.
No, I said more women tend to put family above work, and men tend to be more selfish, is what I said. And I stand by that.
But you use the word sacrifice, which I think upsets lots of women who feel they do make a sacrifice to be in the workplace.
For goodness sake, you know, women make different choices to men. Not all of them, but many do. And men are far more selfish than women when it comes to work commitments.
But it helps you to have a female MP now as one of your 5.
Not just that, but Dame Andrea Jenkins is about to become Mayor of Greater Lincolnshire. And you're right, of course, it will change the look of the party, and that's a good thing.
And so what's next?
What's next is preparing for the Welsh and Scottish Parliament elections next year. In Wales, if you believe the opinion polls, we're competing, potentially to be the biggest party in Wales. And in Scotland, we've made great advances, and the Conservative Party there's almost disappeared. And one of the big messages tonight, and we've seen this in mayoral elections, 3 that we've come very close to winning and not 1, is the Conservative vote has been the wasted vote. In much of this country now, if you vote Conservative, you're likely to get Labour. We are now the real opposition to Labour.
Nigel Farage, thank you very much. Thanks for making time for us on Good Morning Britain.